Hey home bakers, it's Jack here at bakewithjack.co.uk, and if you are new here, we do this every single Thursday. I answer a bread making question every single Thursday. Sometimes it's a bit of a chit chat and sometimes it's a practical video, something you can do. Today we're going down the chit chat route because I've had a question from somebody on Facebook, from Stephen, and he asked me, hey Jack, what's the best type of flour? Good question. The best type of flour. Okay, I use two different kinds of flours in my classes. One of them is Dove's Organic. I used to use that a lot. The other one is Allinson flour. And whether it's strong white bread flour or strong white bread flour, it's always going to be different across the different brands. That's just the nature of it, right? And the reason I use those two types of flour is because they are readily available. You can find them in the supermarket, they're readily available, and what I try and do is to bring you a way of making bread, amazing bread at home, and making it readily available, okay? It would make no sense if I imported some flour from Canada that you only got to buy on the internet. It's £11 for a bag. It would make no sense because I'm trying to make this accessible for you. So, two types of bread flour that I use: Dove's Organic and Allinson, okay? The Dove's Organic one, they're both completely different. In terms of what's best, it's completely down to your taste, right? That determines what's best. It's whatever you like. And I'll give you an example. The Dove's one makes a real crusty loaf. The crumb texture is quite firm, always. And that's the Dove's one. It's a little bit trickier to manipulate along the way, but it's fine. And if you're making a baguette, super thick, nice crispy crust, easy. Allinson flour, strong white bread flour, the same. Allinson one is slightly different. It's really responsive. It makes a real nice smooth and supple dough that's really easy to manipulate, and it comes together a little bit quickly, actually, a little bit quicker when you're kneading it. But the final bread is softer in the crumb, a bit lighter, a bit fluffier, and it makes a real thin crust on the outside, so it's a bit tricky to get it well crusty. If you like a big thick crust, you can still get a crunchy thin crust, but you won't get the real thick crust that comes with the Doves. So that's the difference between the two that I use. That's the difference. So whichever one's best is down to you, depending on whether you like a nice soft loaf, which I make for the kids at home, for the family, or if you want something a little bit firmer, a little bit more robust that makes wicked toast. They both make wicked toast, but a little bit different toast, like even crunchier toast. It's up to you. That's the answer to the question. So another question came through as well on email from somebody who's saying to me, explaining the texture of a bloomer, explaining the texture of what that comes out, and the way they wanted it to come out and the way that actually did come out, a bit fluffy or a bit dense or a bit whatever. And I said the first thing to check is your type of flour. Change out the type of flour, because that's the biggest thing in your recipe is the flour. Okay, the water, the yeast and the salt, fine, but the biggest thing that makes the biggest difference in the recipe, forget the process, is the type of flour you use at the beginning. That will affect the texture the most. So that's it, quick one, yes! Quick one, types of bread flour, that's not always the same. And sometimes I hear you get a dodgy batch sometimes. It'll respond completely differently, even though it's the same brand. So that's another spanner in the works. But listen, the best type of flour is the one that you prefer the most, the one that makes the bread that you like. And that's it. I'm Jack here at Bake with Jack. We're here every single Thursday with a bread making tip. And if you like this video, let me know, click like, and I'll make some more. And yeah, we do this every week, so consider subscribing. If you're on YouTube, you can subscribe on there. And if you're watching this on my website, you can subscribe on there as well, and it will be in your inbox. So listen, thank you very much for being here. I will see you next week for another one, and that's it. See ya.